Hello everyone, Godzilla54 is my name, and welcome back to another review of of a of a figure that I'm about to show you. But before we begin, I would like to say I apologize for the delay on Christmas Day and on Christmas Eve. The reason why I didn't record any of those is because I'm feeling sick on that day. Like in Christmas morning, I thought I feel like I'm feeling better or something, but it turns out I'm feeling sick on that day, and we went to the doctor. We I went to the doctor afterwards, and it turns out to be a flu. So then I have to I took the medicines for every day, and that was it. And that's what happens that I'm not feeling better. But as you can tell, I do feel better. I just got recovered from the flu, and to be honest, um, me and my family were like, have I suffered from pneumonia or hormone harmonia? But you get the idea what I'm trying to say. But it's nothing serious. It's just a flu. I just got back from the doctor on Saturday. Excuse me. Enough about me. Let's go ahead and show you what I got. Not well, actually, this is not what I got for Christmas. I actually ordered on December 19th, and I have it delivered somewhere between Sunday or, well, I don't know. So here it is. Introducing the Godzilla 1954 prototype clay model figure. And I believe that's what it says. So, before we move on to the figure, I want to show you this amazing card. So, for those of you who are new to this, or what this represents, this picture represents is an actual clay model back in 1954, and they're trying to decide what would Godzilla would look like on screen. And they were also planning to make it a stop motion for the 1954 film, but it might but it but it will take too long because stop for a stop motion, they would have to grab him and move every body parts that they could move. So instead of clay model, they wanted to make an actual suit itself. And it's specifically known as the Shodai Goji. And that suit was supposed to be like made out of rubber for a man in a suit. And it was worn by none other than Haruo Nakajima, the famous Godzilla suit actor. But anyway, I'll show you the figure. But either way, if you have kids watching this video, and I hope that it does not scare them, but hopefully it does not scare them. But I'm just trying to show you what this figure looks like. So the detail on Godzilla's face, man, I could never tell you how scary it would be if it was on screen. But thankfully, it was just a clay model. But this toy is not actually made out of clay, as I'm holding it in my hand. And we'll move on to rotation. So there's nothing, so you can't rotate the head, so it's stuck. But you can move the arms for about 360 degrees. And that goes same for this arm. And same thing with the leg for about 360 degrees. And the other leg as well. And as for the tail, you can't move the tail that pretty much because it's stuck. But now that I covered the rotation of this figure, I will show you the detail of the skin. So if you look at the skin closely, you'll see how this is based off like a fish skin or something like that. But I heard so much about this clay model as much as I read the book, or that I've watched it on documentary about the making the film of Godzilla 1954, or Godzilla as they call it. So, from what I understand, they have three clay models. They have three clay models in the studio production, and they're trying to come up of what would Godzilla would look like in the movie. Some say that he would have looked like a fish. He would look like a fish monster, or should I say sea monster, and that's because he's got fish scales. So the first prototype was canceled because it doesn't look much of a resemblance to the dinosaur. So now they move on to the second prototype, which is like frog skin with bumps and warts all over its body. But then they were like, yeah, that's too ugly. But when they finished the third prototype was like all scaly, not similar to the fish, but it's much similar to like a dinosaur skin. But at the same time, the skin was also a resemblance to the poor victims of the atomic bomb incident in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So the people, they have scars all over their bodies, and due to the fact they did survive from atomic bomb, but only for those who have suffered radiation illness. So that's why they got the idea for Godzilla's skin for the third prototype is to have like a dinosaur skin plus scars from the radiation from the atomic blast. So that's how they got the idea about Godzilla, which he was born from the nuclear test, and then he comes towards Japan to wreak havoc the major city of Tokyo. Then he returns back to the ocean, and then comes back on the second night. So that's everything about this figure. I mean, that's all the history about this clay model figure. And now we're going to go ahead and do the size comparison to the other figures that I have in my collection. And I'll be right back. Alright, so moving along, we have a Bandai America figure of Godzilla 1954. And that's how big he is compared to the clay model prototype figure. Now I will go ahead and show you another figure that I have. And we will bring out this cute little hamster Godzilla costume. And no, that's not the one I got for Christmas. But I'll tell you about that later. So that's how big he is compared to that cute little hamster wearing a Godzilla costume. Next we have Godzilla 2023 Odo Island version, or should I say Godzilla Source 2023. And next we'll bring out Godzilla -1, aka Godzilla 2023. Hold on, let me see if I can stand him upright. There you go. Okay, so here you go. Here's one with Godzilla -1, aka Godzilla 2023. And last but not least, we will bring out the final figure, which I already talked about earlier. And this is what I mean when everybody in Toho, they trying to figure out what kind of skin would Godzilla would look like. And here he is. The SH Monster Arts Godzilla 1954. Now, I will bring this closer to you guys so that you'll understand when I'm talking about the skin. So what you see here in this final design, that this is the actual suit worn by Haruo Nakajima. And this is what I mean when Godzilla was being hit by an atomic blast for the nuclear testing, and he was turned into a monster just so that he would come from amphibian creature or dinosaur. Like he was a dinosaur back then, but then the nuclear test hit him, and then that's how he became Godzilla. So this is exactly what I'm talking about the skin before they move on to the final design. And they turn it into a man in a suit for the film. So instead of stop motion, they use a rubber suit, which is like hard for the suit actor. That he's having hard time breathing through the costume, and he collapsed, and he lost 20 pounds for wearing that costume. And that's why he had an accident while making the film. And so they want him to move slowly, as you saw on the movie. But like I said about the stop motion, there is one scene in that movie where his tail was going left and right like this, and then swings his tail at the building. That's part of the stop motion. So they only use it one time in that movie. But I believe that's what they did in that movie. So yeah. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the history of the Godzilla prototype for the figure that I have. And yeah, that's not the one I got for Christmas. But I only have like 3 presents that I've got so far. Oh no, I only got 4. So I couldn't show you the rest, but what I could show you is that I've got 4 Pokemon trading cards that I got from Mom and Blair, along with a PS5 headset that I've got, that I finally set it up. Then I have this cute little hold on. Okay. Then I got this cute little salamander from Rosie. So Rosie, I wanted to thank you for this salamander. It looks really cute, and I will keep it on my desk somewhere. So thanks a lot. And I wish I could show it to you from the corner of my room, but it looks like a Godzilla poster, but it actually lights up inside of a poster. And that's what my brother got me. And then I have this 3D print Godzilla figure, which looks like this. And I got it from Santa. And what you do is that you lay him flat on the desk or whatever you want him to be. And you could also stand him up to make it look like, to make it look like he was actually roaring at the road or the city. But from his position, he kind of looks like Shin Godzilla. But what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to make it I'm trying to make a same color for Godzilla -1, but instead, they just got me a reddish brown and black, which I don't mind, to be honest. And that was it. That's all the Christmas presents I got. And I just I just wanted to say that I apologize for the delay because of my sickness. And yeah, nobody likes the flu because that is the worst. That is the worst time of my life that I've gotten sick on Christmas Day. So anyways, that's all there is for this video. So be sure to subscribe if you're new to this channel. Give it a thumbs up and hit the notification bell. And leave your comments down below and tell me what you think about this figure. And do you want this in your collection? Or whatever it is you're planning on, whatever you're doing. And also, I'm glad that I made it all the way to 2026, that I celebrate Happy New Year's to everybody around the world. And I hope you have a fun day. I hope you have fun on Christmas Day and New Year's. And Happy New Year's, everybody. Alright, that's all there is. So, take care, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.